want to do that because I think they
No.
brought it up.
Yeah.
Good evening. It's 6:30, and I would like to call the February 14th, 2023 meeting of the Orangeburg County School Board meeting to order. This meeting is held in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. The news media has been notified. The copy of the agenda has been made available to the public. But it's so wonderful you all to see everyone here tonight sharing some of the Valentine love with us tonight. So thank you all for coming. This time we will continue with our agenda. We will have our moment of silence followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. We now have our Pledge of Allegiance from our parliamentarian, Dr. O'Quinn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I will entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the agenda for February 14, 2023, regular scheduled board meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the agenda for the February 14, 2023 board meeting. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the January 10th, 2023 meeting.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
There are, on the minutes, there are some errors. I will give it to y'all after this, but other than that, you can go ahead on.
Yes, ma'am, Dr. Stevens, we'll make those noted oversights and bring it back to the board.
So again, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the January 10th meeting first, 2023.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the January 10th, 2023 meeting with the necessary corrections, if there be any.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the minutes of the January 10th, 2023 meeting with the necessary corrections. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I will also entertain a motion for the approval of the January 24th, 2023 minutes.
Madam Chair, so moved. January 24, 2023 minutes. Would there be any?
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the minutes of the January 24th, 2023 meeting with any corrections that need to be corrected. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We will continue with our agenda, beginning
Madam
with
Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we move on, just an observation, request for information. We heard that some said that there are maybe a few errors in the minutes and we did the approval. At one point, I requested and I brought before this board the need for board docs, which is a board management software
Yes,
that we can use. And at this time, I'm requesting that we put that as an agenda item for our next board meeting.
definitely. Thank you so much, Ms. Omer. That may be something we would definitely look into, so we will put that in the minutes that we will have that on our next agenda. So at this time, we will continue with our awards and recognitions.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chair Edwards, Vice Chair Brunson, board members, Dr. Foster, and all who serve and love Orangeburg County School District. Happy Valentine's Day. Knowing how much we love to celebrate our students, and especially on this day of love, we are so proud to honor and recognize students who have made us so very proud. We are first going to honor our 2023 OCSD National Beta Club Award recipients. I'm going to call all of the students by school, and I'd ask all parents to stay until all students have been recognized. Holly Hill Elementary School, and we're going to talk about the group awards first. Because there are so many students, we're going to start calling their names as they walk up. And so you can come up here.
Come on down, sweetheart.
Just go now. Yeah.
Thank you. In Living Literature, Addison Hall, Melanie Holloman, Khalil Wilson, and Christian Young. They received second place. In Performing Arts, Malia Fleming, Cadence Green, Jade Green, Addison Hall, Melanie Holloman, Ariel Lambright, Damani Mack, Kalisha Owens, and Jalen White. They received first place. With the book battle, Serenity Fox, Ariel Lambert, and Leah Lumpton. They received second place. Technology, Tegan Allen and Yasir Smalls. They received fourth place. The Quiz Bowl, Juwan Bevins, Zoe Carter-Welch, Leah Lumpton, and Zoe Polk. They received third place. In individual awards for visual arts and academics, Juwan Bevins in Spanish received second place. Morgan Brown in painting received second place. Zoe Carter-Welch in ELA received fifth place. Grayson Clark, on-site drawing, received third place. Serenity Fox, 3D design, received third place. Shawantiana Sanders in sculpture received third place. Artravius Walker in recycle art received second place. Talia Brazil in jewelry received fourth place. In London, Harney in speech received fourth place. Dr. Foster, can you join our students for a photograph, please? Let's give all of our students from Holly Hill Elementary a round of applause.
Before we take a picture, if your child is standing up here and you're not already standing in the painting, please stand and be recognized. Let's give a hand.
The advisors.
Thank you. And students, you can go back in the waiting area where you were. Mr. John is waving his hand. You can go to him. And then parents, after this award ceremony, then you can get your students. The next school that we want to recognize are students from St. James Gilliard Elementary School. In Book Battle Elementary School, Riley Richburg, Bella Harrison, and Elena Haynes received 4th place. Language Arts, 4th grade, Kayla Clements received 3rd place. Avea Pratt, 4th grade Math, received 3rd place. Musicology Elementary Oral, Genesis Jones, Riley Richburg, Serenity Johnson, and Ilana Haynes received 4th place. Performing Arts Elementary Solo, Duo, Trio Dancers, Caden Keat, Ivana Jameson, and Kamora Jackson received 2nd place. Quiz Bowl Elementary Oral, 4th place, with Kamora Jackson, Zachary Earhart, Ava Ferguson, and Caden Keat received 4th place. Science 5th grade, Serenity Johnson received 5th place. Social Studies 5th grade, Genesis Jones received 4th place. In Two-Dimensional Design Elementary, Jemiah Hardy, Bella Harrison, Jemiah Flonnery, Kayla Clements, Ilana Haynes, and Avea Pratt received 3rd place. Let's give all of the students from St. James Gilead a round of applause. Parents, please stand up. Parents, wave your hand. All right. Dr. Foster, please join us for a photograph. Thank you. We now would like the students from Lockett Elementary School to come and be honored. For solo, duo, or trio dancer, Lizzie Bone received 3rd place. Two-dimensional design, Lizzie Bone, Olivia Borman, and Grayson Dukes received 4th place. Musicology, Lizzie Bone, Marley French, Kenley Gainey, and Jennifer Powell received 5th place. Handmade jewelry, Emma Kate Dukes received 5th place. Hand-drawn anime, Kylie Fralix received 5th place. 4th grade social studies, Bryce Brown received 5th place. In 4th grade math, Lizzie Bone received 5th place. Let's give all of our students a round of applause, and parents, please stand up. Thank you. Thank you. And we'd now like to ask the students from Edisto Elementary School to please come forward. Hand-drawn anime, Kevin Washington received first place. Poetry, Aaliyah Brown received second place. Ayla Brown received second place. On-site painting, Anara Davis received third place. Black and white photography, Ava Bramblett received fourth place. Fifth grade language arts, Kelly Emberly received fifth place. Recyclable art, Chandler O'Brien received fifth place. Speech, Zion Hicks received fifth place. And for the quiz bowl, Colin Ard, Zion Hicks, Ayla Brown, Patrick Simpson received fifth place. Parents, please stand up. Wave your hand. Thank you. Did you come together for a photograph? Thank you so much. That concludes our Beta Club honors and honorees for this evening. If your child was just honored and you'd like to leave, you can during this time before we call the next set of students.
That's gonna pretty much clear the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I think the high school beta club. From what I understand, all the schools that were here that are involved that want to go are all pooling together to go. So that's a plus.
Yes, ma'am. How are you? Good, thank you.
Yeah. Valentine's summer. Mexican, Mexican, whatever they go get. My wife had supper before I left, so I was all right.
Hey, how are you? Hey, how you doing?
Ma'am, three. Two of them live in Branchville, one lives in Beaufort. So three of my grandchildren are in Branchville, and one's down here.
Telling you it is.
And that was my grandchild on this end.
My husband told me that you should get, he said that land, what, over here in front of us? He said that land's available.
In front of us this way? On the that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Have to do something, add on or something. Okay.
We would now like to honor the 2023 MLK Oratory Competition winners. The theme for this year was celebrating the impact of our youth. OCSD students were able to use their voices to motivate and inspire others through public speaking. The competition celebrated cultural diversity and highlighted our students as they honored Dr. King and the tremendous impact that he had and continues to have on our world. First place winner was Mr. Jaden Seawright from Sheridan Elementary School. Second place winner was Nichelle Mantle from Ellery Elementary School. Third place winner was Ava Ferguson from St. James Gilliard Elementary School. Also joining us here this evening is Mr. Tegan Allen from Holly Hill Elementary School. Let's give all of these outstanding students a warm round of applause. If there are any parents, please stand up and wave. And while we're taking the photograph, in addition to the cash prizes that the students received, all of the MLK Oratory contestants received free jump passes from the Max Family Entertainment Center. And if you've been following Fostering OCSD by Dr. Foster, you will soon begin to see some familiar faces who will take opportunities to host that show for us. So Jaden has had an opportunity, Nichelle will have an opportunity as well as the others. So this is not your last time seeing them. And we also want to recognize those fifth grade students who are recognized by the Orangeburg Community of Character, which recently held its 21st annual fifth grade Outstanding Character Recognition Program. The program brings together fifth graders from across Orangeburg County to recognize them for exemplifying outstanding character. Each school selects an honoree who embodies excellence in character and has also written an essay on what character trait they feel is more important. Our students are on their way. Dylan Berry, self-discipline from Bethune-Bowman Elementary. Kaylin Stokes, respect from Brookdale Elementary. Jenny Wang, gratitude, Dover Elementary. Temperance Dalton, trustworthy, Edisto Elementary. Xavier McGraw, respect, Whitaker Elementary. Faith Young, Faith, Holly Hill Elementary. Jaden Clark, trust, Hunter Kennard, Tyler Elementary. Aiden Hughes, optimism, Lockett Elementary. John Davis, courage, Marshall Elementary. Zayana Gaines, respect, Mellichamp Elementary. Cruz Gordon, determination, Sheridan Elementary. Ava Ferguson, respect, St. James Gilliard Elementary. Maximiliano Castillo, creativity, Vance Providence Elementary. Roberta Hart, respect, Ellery Elementary. Please give these students a round of applause. And parents, stand, wave your hands. Congratulations to you as well. Thank you. Chair Edwards, that concludes my portion of special recognition. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Taylor.
Madam Chair, as our parents are leaving, just want to take an opportunity again to thank parents for allowing us the opportunity to serve your children. And, you know, I know it's a long night and a lot of people, but I would rather have people gather to showcase the talents of our students and our community anytime. So happy Valentine's Day. And thank you all for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Dr. Foster, and everyone joining us, good evening again. On behalf of Mr. Holliday, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, we are pleased to announce our Rookie Teacher of the Month for January. Our recipient of Rookie Teacher of the Month is Ms. LaToya Sellers of Vance Providence Elementary School. Ms. Sellers was nominated by a counselor that said, "It is with total confidence and great pride that I compose this letter in support of Ms. Sellers for Rookie Teacher of the Month. Ms. Sellers is an overcomer, a problem solver, an innovator, and a dynamic member of our second grade and Vance Providence Elementary team family. Her enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching and her students are indescribable. Ms. Sellers does not work or serve for awards or accolades, but simply to inspire and impact all those she meets every day. She has mastered the elusive art of being firm but fair, having rules but yet maintaining relationships, and keenly remembering that though she teaches numerous contents and subject areas, she is really teaching children whom she freely offers love, acceptance, and grace. While remaining current with the latest instructional strategies and technology, she can still reach a troubled or struggling student with a simple yet profound motherly instinct and empathy coupled with complete professionalism. Likewise, she can accelerate and challenge her brightest of students because of professional development experiences and innovations which she has pursued and mastered. Ms. Sellers has a calling on her life, and that calling is teaching. She teaches her students to strive for excellence, to love reading, and to respect each other. And she teaches all of us, her colleagues, to give our best for students, wear a smile, to have faith, and to remember that storms of life often produce beautiful rainbows and new growth. Ms. Sellers is a true gem and so deserving of Rookie Teacher of the Month. The January prizes were sponsored by the SCEA. Please join me in congratulating Ms. LaToya Sellers. Joining her, she has her principal, Ms. LaTanya Durant, her assistant principal, Ms. Bryant Dixon, and her guidance counselor, Kia Stevenson. Thank you.
I just want to share something. I had to ask for permission before we did that. Not only is she an outstanding teacher, she comes to work every single day battling cancer. Every single day. Has not missed a minute.
You will beat it too.
You got the faith. That's a lot. That's awesome.
Okay, Dr. Foster, you want me to come after that?
Too.
Happy Valentine's Day. This evening, we are pleased to recognize January's Employee of the Month. Our Employee of the Month of January is Ms. Frankie Pinckney from Revlon Elementary School. Ms. Pinckney is the media specialist. Ms. Pinckney assists and supports students and teachers of the school's library in learning how to use information, providing and suggesting books and information sources related to the students' needs. Ms. Pinckney demonstrates excellence in the area of commitment by always committing to complete all tasks and supporting the school's team even when she has to handle her own responsibilities. Ms. Pinckney demonstrates excellence in the area of leadership by doing many things, instructing students both in the classroom, with classroom teachers, and independently, planning with teachers, meeting regularly with the principal, facilitating the use of technology by students and teachers, providing technology support to teachers, students, and parents, and providing a reading incentive program to support student achievement. Ms. Pinckney demonstrates excellence in the area of customer service by having a positive interaction with all of the school members, which requires trust, respect, and focus on the needs of each individual. She's positive in managing the library's environment as it enhances each user's experience. Please help me congratulate Ms. Frankie Pinckney, our January Employee of the Month. She is joined by the guidance counselor, Dr. Foreman, one of her core teachers, Ms. Desiree Lewis, and co-teacher, Ms. Wright.
At this time, thank everyone for all those recognitions. We will continue with our superintendent's update.
Madam Chair, members of the board, my update is real brief. We've been here and the stuff that needs to be showcased has already been showcased. But I did want to take an opportunity just to update the community and the school board on the transition for Revlon and Edisto Primary. We've had a tour of our teachers that went over from Revlon to tour Edisto Primary, and they agreed that we've had a number of activities to help with that merger, and things are going extremely well, and I believe the staffs are starting to enjoy the opportunity to come together. So I wanted to just update everyone on that, and we have some tours planned for the actual students and also for parents, again, to make sure that this transition is as smooth as possible. Also, we just got news, Dr. Foreman is leaving out now, but she didn't know I was going to say this, but I got word today that she's been nominated for the Life Changer of the Year award. That is a national. So we look forward to the final outcome of that. I shouldn't have let her sneak out of here, but we can make her come back. She didn't know I was going to mention that, but we got word today about her being nominated for the Life Changer of the Year award. So I wanted to just congratulate you and wish you well. So she is phenomenal at what she do, and that title in itself sums up what she's about. So looking forward to the outcome. Thank you so much. I think you're the second one. I believe Mrs. Lewis was nominated last year. Desiree Lewis was in that as well. So we had both of them here. So let's keep up the good work and keep doing what we do for children. So thank you. Madam Chair, members of the board, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Foster. At this time, we have our financial services update.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Foster. I'll be giving the financial update for the month of January. Our total revenue received for the month of January, $25,943,286.66. Our total expenditures, $12,723,108.09. Our revenues exceeded our expenditures by $13,220,178.57.
Plus, not a negative.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, it's just a, yeah, right. It's just a typo.
That's a big typo.
Yes. But it's 13 million. We exceeded our revenue by $13.2 million.
Okay. Hallelujah.
That concludes my report for tonight. Are there any questions?
Ms.
Madam
Alma?
Chair, not a question, but coming from the finance department, can we get finance reports from, like, like our federal dollars and other fundings that we bring in? So we always get general, but we don't hear about, like, special projects and federal dollars and all this other, the monies that come in.
Yes, ma'am, we can provide those as well.
Okay.
Also include ESSER, our ESSER funds.
That's correct. That will be all our special revenue. Thank you.
Yeah. Special revenue.
Okay. This time we will continue with our ombudsman assistant to the superintendent.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair, board members, Dr. Foster. I know Dr. Taylor already said it, but happy Valentine's Day again. I'm bringing 2 items for you this evening for action. The first item that I have is the 2023-2024 district school calendar for second reading. That should be in your packet. In addition to bringing this calendar back last month, after our meeting on January the 10th, I did go back to the calendar committee to ask for more feedback since the last board meeting, and there was none. So I'm bringing this item to you as an action item for tonight, for second and final reading.
Are there any questions?
Ready? Madam Chair, I move to approve the 2023-24 district calendar as presented for second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the 2023-2024.
Madam Chair,
Yes, you have a
which
question? Ms.?
calendar, A, B, C?
B, calendar B.
It was B.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. It's been moved and properly second that we accept calendar B, approved for the 2023-24 district calendar as presented for second reading. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
so Dr. Washington, so you're going to bring this back for third reading as well, or will this the second and final reading?
This is the second and final reading, yes, ma'am, tonight.
Okay, so it passed.
So should our motion just now include second and final reading rather than just second reading? I'm asking for clarification.
It should have, but it wasn't in, yeah.
It wasn't
Didn't realize
in,
this was the final one, yeah. But it should have said the second and final, yes.
Go ahead, you want to go ahead and make sure we do it correctly? Go ahead, Ms. Tyler.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the 2023-24 district calendar B as presented for second and final reading.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the 2023-24 calendar B as presented for the second and final reading. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next item that I have for you is policy BJ, Board Legislative Program. And this just some revisions that we needed to make. I put the original policy in your packet, and right behind it is the highlighted section of the revision that we need to make. And basically, for this particular policy, we're removing the words both state and federal in the National School Boards Association.
Ms. Olma?
okay. Why are we removing both state and federal?
From the, I believe from the South Carolina School Boards Association's disaffiliation with the National School Boards Association to stay in line with that particular motion that went last year.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Carson?
last year or the prior year before, the 22 states pulled out, it was only the federal, not the South Carolina. So we need to revisit or get some clarification on this.
Yes, sir, Madam Chair, members of the board. I think that what Dr. Washington is trying to say is when it says, in addition to the board will work with its legislative representatives, the South Carolina School Boards Association, and other concerned groups in developing an annual as well as long-term legislative program. The other concerned groups captures anything else. It's just removing the National School Boards Association. So it doesn't limit in that regard.
So, Madam Chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Omer.
Let me ask Dr. Foster or Madam Chair, are we a member of the consortium of the State School Boards Association?
That's the new one.
That's the new organization.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, we are.
So it replaces the National School Boards Association. Should we not, instead of National School Boards Association, where he has highlighted, should we just put COSBA there, Consortium of State School Boards Association?
So if that's the board's pleasure, but it still allows it when it says and other concerned groups, they would fall in the other concerned groups category in that regard. But what's the board's pleasure in that if it's just there? So they're still captured and that opportunity still rests with the board to be affiliated with them.
So this has to go before the School Board Association for approval as well, right?
Yes,
Okay. And
And this is an action item.
Okay, but this is, you still keeping the South Carolina School Board Association, right? You just taking out the National School Board?
Yes, ma'am, just
Gotcha.
the items that are highlighted
Okay.
in yellow.
See, what's confusing, Madam Chair, it has both.
Yeah. And the reason, and explain that again, Dr. Foster, why you're taking out state and federal, because that is one you have highlighted too. I want to make sure everybody understand it.
Yes, because in simplification, if we ever were to change in any organization that we affiliate with on the federal level, we know the School Board Association is our partner. Anything else will be captured under that other concerned groups, regardless of what they may be. So it wasn't really needed, but if that's the board's pleasure to add it, that's the catch-all in the event that gives it the flexibility to change or not.
Madam Chair, I understand what you are saying, but it would be not so confusing if you did not have the consortium. That should be in there, to me. But since you have both, you know, it send mixed messages.
So, Ms. Carson, are you saying that you think both state and federal should stay there to capture the other one?
No.
No?
We're not a member of the federal.
Yeah, it's
Right.
coming out. We're taking those out. We're doing it. We're actually taking it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what the markup on the back removes that.
Okay.
piece. Mm.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Omer?
I need some clarification. Federal would take in where we attend the National Advocacy for Federal, right? So if we take federal out, then we're saying that we're no longer going to support that part of the school board?
No, ma'am. In other concerned groups, that would capture that opportunity as well. Again, if the board's pleasure to put it there, it gives the flexibility either way. If it makes the board feel comfortable with having it there, it's fine, or taking it out, it's tomato, tomato. Either one will allow the board to do that.
Madam Chair, I would recommend that we retain both state and federal, and where it has National School Board Association, it is, the acronym is COSSBA, Consortium of State School Boards Association, to replace National School Boards Association. Whereas Dr. Foster said we are a member.
Now that's making sense.
You have that? Were you able to?
We need to go back, bring
Yeah.
it back, then I think.
Do we have to bring it back?
I can redo it and bring it
Yeah.
back.
So that what we can do? And bring it back with those changes for next month?
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you, Dr. Washington. Bringing that one back.
And Madam Chair, the rule is in your file as well. We'll just make that consistent with the actual policy as well.
Okay. All right, we've done operations.
Madam Chair, we also have policy BJR.
That's what he said, that's the rule. He said he'll bring it back. That's
Yeah, the administrative rule,
He'll bring
we'll
that
make it
back.
consistent with the policy. That's the administrative rule. So the change we make for the policy, we'll make it consistent in the rule.
And do that next time.
Now it's clear. Thank you.
All right, we will now have operations.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members. We have just a couple of items that we're going to go over. The first one I'm going to talk about is the core property transfer resolution, and then following that, we have a presentation from Alan Taylor from LS3P, and then I'll come back up to review the bond referendum committee. So the first item I'm going to reference, we don't have a slide for, but we have in your packet the resolution that was drafted by Alan Smith, one of our attorneys with Halligan, Mahoney, and Williams. And the resolution, as a reminder for you, for everyone, we've talked about this for about 2 years now, which is the donation of this property that we have deemed excess that the core community organization has been using. We originally started this plan to transfer the property to them prior to the COVID pandemic. Everything was kind of put on hold. And so at this time, we have the resolution drafted, which would allow us to donate that property, and they would take control and ownership of that property. Once we sign the resolution by the chair, then we would do a real estate transfer, a transfer of deed with the chair and the executive director of the core organization.
Yes, Ms. Steve, Dr. Stevenson.
Can't hear you.
It's a different property. Yes, ma'am. This is the old, at one point it served, it's in Holly Hill. It served as like an alternative school. It served as a primary school and lots of different things. So yes, ma'am, off of Unity Road in Holly Hill.
Said it right there.
The one we talked about, yeah.
So this would be an action item, and we would request that the board's approval to allow the chair, if there are no other questions.
Any other questions for Mr. Grant? Dr. Quinn?
Yeah, it says on that reading in here, that there were no inquiries about a request to purchase this property. Was it advertised, or did we have the opportunity to advertise it to sell it?
Yes, sir. It's been posted on our website as required by, there was a state ruling that we had to post excess properties on our website, and we've had it posted since the beginning of the year. They had until December 31st to make inquiries for anybody that would be interested in the property, and we did not have any.
Okay, but it was not listed anywhere else other than that to try to sell it?
No, just listed per the state statute.
Okay.
No other question?
Any other questions?
Madam Chair, I move to allow the board chair to sign the resolution on behalf of the board approving the donation of real property and fixtures owned by the Orangeburg County School District, whose location is specified in the resolution, to the Community Organization for Rights and Empowerment.
I need a second.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that you allow the board chair to sign the resolution on behalf of the board approving the donation of real property and fixtures owned by the Orangeburg County School District, whose location is specified in the resolution, to the Community Organization for Rights and Empowerment. All those in favor? All those opposed? Passed? Okay. The motion has passed. Thank you.
All right, and our next step with this will be, after we get a signed copy of the resolution, will be to have Alan Smith draft the deed for core.
Okay.
All right, so Alan Taylor and Clint, are you coming up here as well? All right. Alan Taylor and Clint Riddle from LS3P to do a review of the properties that we are.
Right here.
I think that is yours.
It's gonna be on the board.
So, good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr.
Good
Foster.
evening.
Good evening.
So we are here to give you an update on 3 of the 4 projects. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on kind of where we are in this process, and then we will go into an update on 3 of the schools here. So first, I wanted to talk a little bit about the process that we've gone through so far, because we have presented to you a couple of times and just kind of show you where we are on our kind of design process timeline. So we have done what we call our visioning and programming with the district and the administration for the different facilities, and then developed some concepts for each one of the projects based on that. So when we presented to you just after the referendum passed, we showed you some concepts for those projects. Since that time, we have moved into what we call schematic design, where we start to develop those concepts with our team. So we have our contracting team here with us this evening, and at the end of that schematic design process, they take our preliminary drawings, and this is our first pass where they actually put some dollars to what they're seeing with those plans. So what they've developed is the construction costs. So this, again, is their first pass based on our preliminary drawings. So they've put together a construction cost for what this might cost with some contingencies, because these drawings were early in the schematic process. So they're making some assumptions based on what they see on the drawings at this time. So that's something that we will present tonight with an update on each one of the plans. So we have the construction costs, and of course there's other soft costs, which are you can see a number of items there, such as your fees, your surveys, your geotechnical, third-party inspections, all those other kind of costs that are associated with a project to come up with a total project cost. So what our contractors put together is that actual construction cost based on the documents that we've provided them to date. So I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of that process. So we are seeing our first round, and we'll do that at the end of each one of those phases. So this was the schematic design. We'll do it again at design development. After we react to the pricing we've got from them, we're able to vet the drawings and further develop them, and they can get us even a better number. And then we'll do it a final time where they set their GMP, where they've got the final documents to do that by. So what we're going to share with you this evening is kind of an update on where we are on schematic process and then those costs associated with it. So Clint's going to walk you through East Elementary.
Thank you. So just as a reminder, the East Elementary School will be going on the campus of the existing Holly Hill Elementary School. So as we've worked through siting this building with our civil engineer and the rest of our team, we're trying to site this school in a way that keeps the existing Holly Hill Elementary in operation. So it will be in operation during construction. And we've worked as well with OSF and the civil engineer to make sure that egress from the existing school is maintained safely, traffic around the site is maintained safely. We've also worked with DOT. We've submitted them the drawings to take their first pass at looking at them, and so that's still in process. We don't know exactly what impact DOT's review will have on the site, so there may be some changes based on that. So as you can see here, we have the entrance off of Brant for the bus drop-off, the bus loop that comes around to sort of the main bus entry at the what will be the dining room and multi-purpose room on the building. And then off of Camden is the entry to the visitor entry, reception entry, and the auto drop-off for the school. Zooming in at the actual first floor plan of the building, Not much has changed since concept. We have reviewed this plan with the Office of School Facilities, got a little bit of input from them that we're working on to incorporate in the drawings as well. We're still looking at a 750 student enrollment initially when the building opens, but we're planning for, if in the future enrollment has to increase to 900, we're planning those core spaces for that for a future addition if necessary down the road. Kind of working right to left through the drawings, we have our first, our ground floor, one-story wing that includes kindergarten, pre-K, and special education classes. As we move to the core of the building, we have reception, administration, the media center, the PE multi-purpose room, the dining room. And then as we kind of move to the left-hand side of the drawings, we have our first, second, and third grade classrooms on the lower level. As we move up to the second level, we have the fourth and fifth grade classrooms along with some other specialized classrooms, science, computer lab, those sort of spaces. As far as our budget estimate, this is the first pass now that Thompson Turner Construction's made based on the schematic drawings that we've provided them so far. You see they've broken out site construction costs for site development and demolition and hazardous material abatement of the existing building that will have to be removed, as well as construction number for the building itself. So that gets us to a number of about $39.4 million. We're also including a contingency percentage for construction and escalation. So as the project continues on, just to capture that, that's giving us a estimated total construction cost of right at $40.88 million currently. So as we continue on in design development, we'll see that contingency number will start to come out since we have more refined drawings for Thompson Turner to put a price to. Moving on into our project schedule slide here, we're still on track. We're still looking at our next milestone being that design development submittal. It's coming up not too far in the future to make that second pass at cost estimating. Down here because I can't quite read up there. And still on track for December 2024 move-in date. So that will be the point at which the students will move into the new building. And then following that, we'll be able to demolish the existing Holly Hill Elementary School and replace that building location with the new main parking lot. That kind of would conclude construction on the site in the summer of 2024. And just want to follow up if there's any questions on the elementary school.
Madam Chair.
Dr. Stevens.
$40 million, right?
Construction costs, Mrs. Rare.
We have all kinds of other stuff to do and looking at how they feel $40 million, they deserve it. So, straightforward. But then there's work on LOE, we got exam, that's they are not the cost of $1,000. We got money.
Seeing in the green line there, so we have met with the feedback from them. Those of you that are familiar with the school know that the parent drop-off is a real problem on that campus. I
used to have to do that.
But, you know, out on both addition, part of our task from Office of School Facilities and SCDOT is correct. So with the addition of students on this campus, that results in a request from SCDOT of about 4,000 linear feet stacking distance. So you see the green line there, where certainly most of the school to create a drop-off, get all those parents off the street and onto campus to our by SCDOT. That's what you see indicated in green. What is currently the drop-off where the parking lot is, that would actually become our bus drop and parking area. So the front loop would remain just a visitor loop that you have now, and that big parking lot area would become where the buses actually drop off. You'll be changing those drop-offs happen to make that work. Moving into the plan, so this is very similar to what you saw the last time, concept-wise. So we have 6th grade classrooms, science lab, and some music classrooms there on the lower level. There are some additional science labs in the newer wing there for the upper grades. We'll be creating 6th grade as part of this addition on the lower level. We are showing a 2-story addition here, so this connects again to that 2-story portion of the newer wing. And on the 2nd floor, we have more general classrooms to add to. So to review the budget on this one, you can see we do have some site demolition. There is a canopy, an existing canopy where this new building would go, and some underground utilities that we would have to relocate here. So as we mentioned earlier, some contract construction has gone through based on our SD drawings that we provided, and have come up with these initial costs here. You can see the site development cost, so that is adding that loop. We have tried to put as much of that loop as possible on existing parking to reduce the cost of that, but there is a good bit of it that goes on green space that wasn't previously a drive or parking area. So that's where you're seeing some of that additional cost come in. And you see the building cost itself there. And then there's a contingency that includes a design and construction contingency. Here we're doing, this is it's a new addition, brand new concept. We're still working through a lot of the site pieces, so there are some contingencies and some estimates there of what that final might be as we work through it. So we've got some work to do on that to kind of reconcile that, to see where the 11.5 on that. As I said, we are working through that. We'll be meeting to look at ways to reduce the cost of that work.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Ulmer.
Looking at this, you have 11.5, and then to the right of that, in your notes, you said plus owner soft costs to be determined?
That is, we don't know what those final, costs of the district will be yet. We have some estimates on that. We kind of worked with Bob and Dr. Foster in looking through that, and our guesstimate on that was around 2.5 million on the soft cost.
And that's in addition to the 11.5?
Correct. So will be in addition to that.
Okay.
Those are, so we know some of those costs. We've done the survey. We don't have a geotech yet. We don't know exactly what our third-party inspection cost will be once we do construction. So there are some unknowns in there, but we've estimated some of that. Then your furniture, fixtures, and equipment costs go into building technology, those kind of things. And that does include, that number would include an overall project contingency as well. Anytime we do an addition on an existing site, there will be some unknowns that come up. So we always recommend that you hold a little bit of money in contingency for those kind of unforeseen that may come up. And of course, we can work with the construction team as well, whether development now, and we will do this again as we refine. You know, we know that these numbers are higher than where we want them to be. We're working with the team to try to reduce those, and based on those changes, we'll come back and put a due estimate. Work through those, so we'll bring that back to you and show you where we are. We're working with the district staff as well as administration to see what we can streamline on that project. And right now, this one's scheduled for a December 24. Any more questions on?
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go to the Marion. So here we're adding a middle school wing. And this one is, if you remember from our concept before, this one is freestanding. Where we're locating this on site, there's actually less site work to do here. Where we've located the wing, we can use the existing drop-off that will serve middle and high. Your bus drop-off will remain where it is now, so we don't have to do all the loops like we're doing the correct problems at Community Park. So we have met with SCDOT and OSF on this one as well, and they're we've got some initial comments incorporated on that. This one we don't have as much site work as we do on the others. Although we do have utilities that we have to move out as well. Again, this will be bringing 500 students from middle school. So this plan, since it is a high school only campus, you don't have the middle school students there yet. We do have an administration area for the middle school. So in that new, where that drop-off loop is, you would also have your visitor parking there, and that's where parents would come for an administration area. So that's what you see in the lower left of the L, and then the main building, this is one story, and those are classrooms. We are able, you see our square footage there, we're using about almost 19,000 square feet in the existing building. That building is under capacity, as you know, and there are some vacant spaces in that. So a portion of the middle school will be happening, go back for just a second. It'll be happening at the end of the wing, right where you see the blue. We have a pointer on this one. Some of the middle school will be in the existing building, and then some in the addition. So these are general sixth grade classrooms that you see in the and they would connect here to a covered exterior area. All right, so walk through your cost on that. So you see our site demolition and utilities that are moving there, and then the site development. There is some storm drainage that we don't know for sure yet how much we'll have to do. So we've got some dollars in there if we have to expand what is there currently to accommodate the drainage for this campus. We're the building construction number. Again, we've got some contingency in there since we're at schematic designs based on our preliminary drawings for the site and the building. And we'll come back and update there. So you can see we're at about 9.2 million on this one for the construction cost. Our estimated soft cost on that one is about 2.2 million. Schedule on this one, we're looking at a move-in for this one at the end of summer of 24. We're again in design development right now. We'll come back and update you with that.
Dr. Quinn?
Yes, Madam Chair, and I have a question. You have a broad picture there, but you haven't shown us exactly where that's going to be in relationship to where the high school students are now. We're going to have mix and mingle with sixth graders and 12th graders. On a routine basis, we're going to have them drop off and pick up at the same place, so they're going to be together. or they're going to be together in the halls of the school also?
They are sharing, so media center, cafeteria, gym, they are sharing, those, so that will be something that they schedule.
I see that as somewhat of a problem because this school is going to be bigger than what we have in Branchville and Bowman at this time. And I don't know how Bowman feels about it, but there is a little bit of issues with sharing media center, sharing the gymnasium, lunchroom, cafeteria, maybe. I just wonder if we aren't making a potential problem by doing this. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way or not. But I just don't know that sixth graders need to be mingling with 12th graders.
You have, the classrooms themselves are separated, but there is common space for them.
So yes, also Lake Marion has two gymnasiums. That's the only high school that has two gyms. So they do have a gym that they would designate for the middle school and a large gym for the high school. That solves the gym. Now the media center, then they will share media center, and the cafeteria, they would do that through scheduling as having a middle school lunch and then a high school lunch.
Right. Is the media center split in half where they have one half for
No, sir.
one
No,
side
sir.
and half for the other?
No, there's not. It's not split.
Is that something we need to consider? And if you're going to construct something like this, is that something that we need to consider looking at?
Well, we can look at doing that. It would be separated. I'm not saying a physical separation. Now, we would have to separate it by book selection and also age-appropriate text. Well, one side could be designated for middle, and the other side could be designated. But a physical separation, I would say that would render some issues because then we're required two media spaces. I believe many of our shared campuses have one media center and two sides separated by the actual selection of text for students.
Reverend Brown?
I have a daughter that lives in Clarence County, goes to school there. We had the same thing. And at the time she was in the sixth grade, and I had an issue with that. I had the exact same issue and concern that Dr. Quinn had. And what I found was scheduling solved that, put me at ease that they assured me that those children were not going to be in that area at the same time, their schedules.
Yes, also, on the diagram he has on the screen, the gym that you see, and I know it's small, there's one gym that's closest to the actual new addition. That's the old gym. That will be the one that the middle schools will use and high schools will use the other gym that's further away and split by that athletic hallway. So those things we have considered. But I will say, and I think it's important that I make it publicly known, that there will be eighth graders that can take a high school Carnegie Unit course with a ninth grader, an English 1 or something like that. But you're talking about eighth and ninth grade and not sixth grade and 12th grade. I think that is a wise way to schedule, but also enhance the educational opportunities for students, as that was the goal, not just the facility, but also to expose those students to those opportunities in high school as well. So that will, and I think I publicly need to say that, I said that from the beginning, that it's not uncommon for an eighth grader to take a ninth grade Carnegie Unit course who's ready to do that and have access to those classes as well.
Madam Chairman, I'd just like to say that this is the opportune time to have a separate middle school, separate from a high school. We're doing this in Orangeburg. Apparently Clark Middle School is going to be the middle school for Orangeburg. We're not building it along with the new high school. We're not compromising. And I just think that's something, if you're going to have a middle school over there, I think it should be separate from sharing the facilities with this. That's just my 2 cents worth.
Definitely, we don't have to have phone administrators in there. When that bell rings, they can't sit in the classroom. They'll be at that door. Because those kids wander everywhere. If you don't be there, making sure they go to their class. Sixth graders. Sixth grade, they get involved. A lot of sixth grade, so we have to make sure that nothing happens. We don't need lawsuits on us, because
Ms. O.
Oh, Madam Chair. I don't want to be redundant, but I see where Dr. Quinn is coming from. I retired from Lake Marion High School, and I hear about situations at North, at Bowman, middle high schools. Middle schools being put on the same campus as the high schoolers. And at these particular schools that we're talking about, Bowman and North, they're even on a separate hallway. But still, you have problems that exist with those lower age groups. So it's something that we need to consider seriously.
We'll be glad to you come back with a full plan and show you where the acceptable area is not just at that isolated to one spot. But there are
Okay.
areas further.
Okay.
At some point, there's a mentioned scheduling, so a block of students that can be handled, but your arrival and dismissal time.
Are there any other questions, comments? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan, and thank you for starting the contract instruction, both being here to represent the organization. The last item is just an information item for you. We are proud to announce that we have our bond referendum oversight committee that we will be beginning Friday, February 24th with our first meeting. And I just wanted to give you just a quick summary of what this committee is, and then in your notes you have kind of a list of what their duties will be and what their duties won't be, and then a listing of the folks that will be serving on that committee in addition to the district staff.
Before you go into that, who chose this group? And, I look at this group, and I see nobody from the Bowman area, nobody. So you got a group up here, some from another county, like Dorchester County, you got them on this group. We need Orangeburg County folks on our group, we need Orangeburg County people on our group, why we got somebody from Dorchester County? And I can give you all the info on our group to the list. Okay, who's going to sit on the list? I don't care if they work here, they don't live here. You got to live here to know Orangeburg County people. We told us different now, you're a horse with a different color. You got to know us. Now, I don't have no problem talking to people, but make sure you get people the right folks. Come on now. Nobody from Bowman. I can't be Bowman. I mean, people going down on the church up the road, and it looks like it's Orangeburg, but it's not. This is Bowman. So, I'd like to know who picked these folks, who chose them, where they came from. I have no problem.
And Madam Chair, I had a concern. I had a concern about this, how they were chosen.
You had a question, Ms. Alma?
You can finish, Ms. Carson.
You finished, Ms. Carson? You said you had a concern?
Yes,
Okay, with the members and
How they were chosen.
Okay.
So, Madam Chair, I'll be more than happy to answer that. When we announced the establishment of an oversight committee, a community oversight committee, again, as Bob is going to explain their roles and responsibilities, we had some community members reach out and say, listen, I would love to serve. And also the administration sat down and looked across the county, and then we reached out to other individuals to serve. This is a community, and it was clear when I first made this announcement, this is not a committee that the board establishes. They're not getting any information that the board would not have prior to the board. They don't make any decisions. This is just an opportunity to show transparency throughout our community. And this announcement was made the day after the bond referendum that this committee would be intact. Now, we try our best to get representation from across the county. Exactly. So that's how it was established. And as initially communicated from the very beginning.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Ms.
Did
Carson.
policy BDF was used?
This is a community committee. This is not a board committee. So this does not apply to any policy that we have. This is a community committee.
Ms. Alma.
Chair, I have a concern with the selection of the committee, and I understand community, but we need to get people on this committee, on this committee that are from Orangeburg County, registered voters from Orangeburg County, and some of these on here are not. So that's my concern, and the representation for the Central is not there. My suggestion, like he says, it's not a board committee, but my suggestion would be, or my recommendation would be that each board, to make sure we have fair representation across the county, each board member select a person from his or her district. And then you have the facilities, the school facilities committee, which is still intact. You have 2 board members there, and then we can use our chair, and that would be our 12 members for the committee. Each board member, we have 9 board members, recommend a person to this committee, and then we have fair representation across the county. And if I'm correct, the facilities committee that we selected is still intact, was never abolished.
Yes, we do still have the facility committee, so that would be yourself, Ms. Carson, and the chair.
And then you have your chair. That would be our 12 members, if you want to be fair about it.
Any other comments on this? So is this
Question, Madam Chair.
Yeah, Ms. Tyler.
I mean, I'm at a loss, I guess. Who are the ones that, the persons on here that do not live in Orangeburg County? I don't know all of them.
One, for instance, is Reverend William Hampton, he votes he built at the county. Might be got a church here, but he don't live here.
Thank you.
So is this something that is, so I'm assuming that this is something that we want to bring back for the next meeting for the, is this something what the board would,
I would say, Madam Chair, I would say we bring it back. And again, my suggestion, each board member, we have 9 board members, representing 9 districts across this county. If each board member will represent somebody from their district, we have 9. You have your facilities committee, and then you have the board chair, 12 board members.
Question, Madam Chair.
Mr. Alla?
Have we notified these people that?
We
came
have.
down to serve?
We have.
Well, I see, some people from my area, a person from my area, so I wouldn't have to do that. And I'm very pleased that he is on here, so.
So your person that you would recommend is already on here, okay?
Madam Chair, if I can add, again, this is a community committee, and we'll entertain the board's wishes and concerns. However, I think I must have to say, if the administration can't select the community committee that represents a project that has no voting power, no oversight, no input, is just an oversight, then I don't know what the administration can make a decision on in that regard. I just have to go, and we'll honor the board's wishes. But this process is just a simple process of selecting folks, and I believe well within the purview of the administration and the operational aspects of the school district. But we'll go back and entertain those recommendations.
Ms. Alma?
Yes, if this board has done any research, I looked at several districts across the state, one being Aiken County, one being DD2, Dorchester District 2. And if you note there, I don't know how they got the first 9 members, but they have 2 board members on there. And I've done some of the research, and I've seen this. So that's why I came up with a suggestion for the committee.
Okay, Dr. O'Quinn?
Maybe I missed something, but how was the committee formed? Where did that come from? Did it come into the legislation or something?
No, this is not a legislative act. This is a more so partnership and transparency action for the school district to say, hey, we're going to show you what's going on and give you an opportunity as a community member to be more involved
I
in
guess
this
what I'm
process.
asking is, who made the decision to start with to have the committee? Did we as a board decide to have that?
No, sir. That was done through administration. I didn't know to have a community committee, that I needed approval from the board to have I have an advisory committee right now that we met with them throughout the whole entire process. I didn't bring that forth for the board to say I needed to have an advisory committee. Didn't know that was what the board's pleasure was.
Reverend Brown?
Taking all the concerns of what's been said, my only question is what we have now, are we in violation?
No.
That's what I want.
No.
This is a community committee. This is not bound by policy and or decision at all. This is, again, a transparency where I feel is important, engage the community and the process. This is a standard process for school districts that pass bonds.
Dr. Brunson?
And I'd just like to make a suggestion that if any of the board members has anyone that they would like to recommend to the committee in addition to what we have, then add those persons to the committee. We have a good representation from the east, the central, and the west. So if you have someone else that you want to see on the committee, then just submit that. I don't see that it doesn't have to be limited to the 12 people here. So if you have somebody, just, make a suggestion.
And then what we will also do, if you would like to add someone, and then the facilities committee persons, like you suggested, that would be the facility committee if you are willing to serve on it. Ms. Pelzer?
Madam Chair, in line with Dr. Brunson just said, what I was thinking that if as a board member, if you want to be on this committee or then suggest that you be placed on the committee. Personally, I don't want to, but I'm just saying if any of the board members want to be on there with the community people, and if it's not a violation of anything, then
If there's more than 5 board members, then that constitutes a quorum
Yeah, you can't do that.
at that point.
I don't think it'll be 5.
Yeah.
No. Let's be fair. You know what really, 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 really gets me, and I said Valentine all of you nice. Fair is no violation. What we saying is be fair. We're not being fair on this board. Come on now.
I'm not saying anybody's being fair. I'm just saying.
The Pelzer, you look at that list. You look at that list. Be fair here now. This is the, Lord help me. I'll pray for y'all. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I need prayer. What I'm just saying is that if any board member want to be on there, then
Hold a minute. Go ahead, Ms. Tyler.
Okay. Dr. Stevens said Bowman is not being represented. So maybe we need to add a person from the Bowman area.
Dr. Stevens, you have somebody in mind you want to add from Bowman?
Because I don't know where they're from.
I don't either.
Only my person.
Dr. O'Quinn?
I just have one more question. This committee is basically some sort of oversight committee to oversee us. We have been elected by the people of Orangeburg County to decide where and how these funds are spent within the confines of what the referendum allowed us to do. So those people are looking at us. But we're getting a committee of people to look at us in addition to the people of the county to tell us how to spend the money and what to do with it? Is that what this committee is for? Because I don't really understand exactly why we have it. We are the ones who actually have to decide how this money is going to be spent and where it's going to be spent. So, these people will have absolutely no say-so they don't sign checks, they don't fill out ethics reports, they don't do anything like that like we do. So, the buck stops with us. We are the board.
So, Dr. Quinn, you're exactly right. In the actual form that's in your packet, it says the duties of the committee does not include these things. They don't make decisions regarding scope, work, design, any financial decisions at all. This is just a way for us to say, hey, we're doing exactly what we said we're going to do. We're spending the funds exactly how, and also it says the second bullet, that this committee does not receive information before the board receives, and they receive any information that the board receives. So you're exactly right in that regard. They have no authority, and that's in the packet. And Mr. Grant was going to cover the duties and responsibilities of this committee.
Well, Madam Chair, again, this is confusing. It have duties of the committee. Review board revenue reports, review the bonds expenditure reports, review the construction update reports. What we're supposed to do? Host annual committee broadcast updates, report to the school board, report to us.
Yes, ma'am.
That's on here. This is in black and white.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
They'll
gonna
give
be
the school board.
Biden.
They'll
This
give the
is in
school board
black
an
and
update
white.
on how the meetings went. That the school district, as far as they can see, is actually doing what they said they were going to do, spending the funds as they appropriately said, from another perch on the tree. So again, they're not making any decisions. They're going to review the same thing that's posted on the website, because all revenue expenditures by the transparency policy has to be posted. So we'll continue to do those things either anyway, but this just gives an opportunity for us to sit down with the community group of folks and say, this is what's posted on the website, so it's have access to the entire community, because that's what is required by law.
Madam Chair, if the board member would get this in time to review it instead of 1 or 2 days prior to the meeting, this will not be brought to the public. We do not have enough time to sit down and discuss what's being given to us. We're being told what to do.
Reverend Brown? No, it's not. It was only for information.
Madam
Ms.
Chair,
Alma, go ahead.
one thing that I would like to see is that we look at the folks from Orangeburg County. If this is the Orangeburg County School District and we're building schools for Orangeburg County, let's look at the citizens of this county to help make that decision.
There's only one name that you said, that's from,
I
not
don't
from
know
Orangeburg?
how many. I don't know.
I don't, okay. You just say, okay, that's just a suggestion.
Whoever did the committee should have checked it out.
Okay, make sure, okay. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Grant? Any other comments? Thank you. All right, we do not have any public participation at this time. So this time I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for contractual matters and personnel recommendation matters.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we go into executive session for contractual matters and personnel recommendations matters.
It's been moved and proper second that we go into executive session for contractual matters and personnel recommendation matters. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
enter into open session.
Second.
It's been moved and proper second that we come out of executive session to enter back in open session. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. This time, the board will consider any motions coming out of executive session.
Madam Chair, I move to accept the superintendent's recommendations for certified employment as presented in executive session.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for certified employment as presented in executive session. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, I move to accept the superintendent's recommendations for certified resignations as presented in executive session.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for certified resignations as presented in executive session. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. At this time, are there any announcements? Hearing none, our next board meeting will be March 14th. March 14th. This time, I will entertain a motion for adjournment of this meeting.
Doing a lot of 14, isn't it?
It's been moved and proper second that we adjourn the meeting for tonight at 9:01. All those in favor? And the opposed, motion carry. Y'all have a nice, wonderful rest of your Valentine's night.
Thank you.
I ain't got